Please refresh. Yeah, rebonjour. So, right, I hope the stream is working. Yeah, okay, so the thing is, I guess I had the, no, it's still saying encoding is overloaded. Yeah, apologies for that. I don't know, that has never happened before. That's never happened before, so I'm not sure why it's running into these issues now. But I have to find a reason for that. KLM 711, request descent.
I'm maintaining 250.
KLM 17903, roger.
Maastricht, good evening, Air France 2257, inbound Norco, flight level 360.
Air France 2257, hello, roger.
Thank you, Venture.
Maastricht, hello, Lufthansa 149er, level 240.
Hang on, who got sacked? Hang on, they sacked the guy during his presentation.
Maastricht, Center, Guardi 1310, flight order 240, hello.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box.
And KLM 711, shall we switch to Langen?
New subscribers, please make your way.
KLM 711, contact Langen radar 124.730.
2473, thank you, KLM 711.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Another boat of great streams.
Lufthansa 4847, descent for level 250, rate of descent 3,000
Thank you, Alpha.
or more.
Big, thank you. Thanks for 39 months.
Lufthansa 4847, descent flight level...
Thank you very much for the kind words, Alpha. Hope you're doing well.
Descent for level 250, descent rate 3,000 feet per minute or more. Lufthansa 4847, descending flight level 2.
Right, we have tailwind as well.
Descending with 3,000 feet per minute or more.
And Langen, hello, KLM 711, level 290.
0.805.
Oh. Give me a chance to get in.
0.805,
Come on.
Boeing Business Jet 58906, contact arrival 120.805.
Oh, the system is really...
120805, Boeing Business Jet 58906. United 944 on this frequency. 944 heading east, Charlie with Q40. United 944, hello, right heading 180, descent flight level 290. Right, 180, descent 290, net. KLM 711 on the frequency?
Yeah, unable to get in though. Level 290, hello.
Expedite descent for level 150, so it's quite busy, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So we expedite descent down to 150, KLM 711. So let's go. Thrust idle, up descend, out blue 150. Oh, careful with the... Careful with the VLS.
Level 100.
Alpha 100, 61 Alpha,
Lufthansa 866, contact Bremen 125.0.
So again, guys, apologies for the issues with the stream.
125.025.
I have to say, I have a feeling that Microsoft 2024 in general stresses the GPU more. And so I am using decoding over GPU in the streaming software. And I guess that's where it kind of runs into issues.
130, maintaining 130 FedEx 40 Tango.
FedEx 40 Tango identified.
Yeah, maybe I have to try that, Bruno, yeah.
Level 200 FedEx 40 Tango.
Air Canada 846, contact arrival 120.805.
So we have Frankfurt.
Easy 56 Papa Lima, contact Langen.
So let's increase the speed here to expedite descent. So we have Yankee 25 right or 25 left. Expect radar vectoring and GLS on request. And we have 260 at 10, 24 degrees and 1023.
3 Charlie Hotel. 3 Charlie Hotel, go ahead. 3 Charlie Hotel identified. Left direct Kirax, cleared Kirax 5 Alpha arrival. Descent flight level 110.
So
Left Sky Kerax, descending level 110 Lufthansa, 3 Charlie Hotel and cleared Kerax, sehr einfach.
Übrigens von Romeo.
Go ahead, Monster Romeo.
From Romeo, hello, descend for level 300.
Descend level 300,
so now we're descending a bit quicker, but we're still a little bit high in the profile.
Hello, cleared IMCOM 1 Alpha arrival, descend via
So we probably won't be able to meet that restriction there. We're trying. Increase the speed a bit more.
KLM 711, speed 300 knots or greater, cleared roll is 5 Alpha arrival.
Oh no, okay, so 300 or more, and we've been previously given Dixat 1 Alpha, but just confirmed then the roll is 5 Alpha now.
No, then fly the Dixat, that makes things for me way easier, though that wasn't put in your flight text. So okay, Dixat 1 Alpha arrival, descend via star, flight level 100 please.
Okay, via the star, descend level 100 for the Dixat 1 Alpha, copied KLM 711.
VATSIM Air 245, reduce speed, flight level, correction, reduce speed, 300.
Yeah, MCK probably. I mean, I could go through the troubles to program on the secondary 25 left.
Inbound,
Okay. Pedalo, Lufthansa 2 Lima Whiskey, 320, Tech 2.
Okay guys, listen to the frequency please before you call in. And nowadays it's busy, but just maintain some frequency discipline. Viewing 17 X-ray, you identified, get IMCOM 1 Alpha, arrival descent for level 110 and no speeds.
IMCOM 1 Alpha, descent level 110, no speeds.
Yeah, I'm slowly increasing the speed.
You identified, hello.
I hope
Skyflyer 445, contact Bremen 125,
So I don't want to have the aircraft pitch down too steeply. So we're slowly increasing the speed.
It's frequency 1, 2,
And Lee, wie geht's dir?
0, 2, 5.
Hast du jetzt Ferien?
125.025, Stefan.
Dankeschön, Lee, for the
United 944,
58
turn
months.
right, and I say
Much
again,
appreciated.
turn right, heading 090,
Now I need to switch off
descend
real
level
tab
100.
because that always messes up.
Charlie Hotel, contact arrival,
So now we're getting into the correct profile, you see?
120,
So roll is below 130, almost there, come on.
Lot 391, request for the climb.
Alright, let's,
Lot 391, Monster Unicorn.
there we go.
Thank you.
Now we're getting there.
375, hello, identified.
One more week, okay. One more week, fantastic. So let's get the speed brakes back in.
Robbings 1 for Romeo, descent for level 250, reach Ostbit.
So yeah, slowly they retract.
Lufthansa Papa Delta, contact Bremen, correction, I call you back, stand by, sorry. Condor 4 Romeo Victor, you can contact Bremen, 125.025.
And then we have to reach 100 by Ostpool. So I was just saying, on the secondary, let's do the ILS 25.
Quarter Tango, contact Langen, 135.650.
No star, no via.
650, have a good day, goodbye.
And then expect radar vectors. And then we'll have the minimum. Frankfurt.
Robbings 1 for Romeo, contact Langen radar, 125.0.
So let's have a look. 25 left.
Lufthansa Papa Delta, contact Bremen, 128.
Man, there's so many charts, hang on. But not the right one. Approach.
Over to Bremen, 125.025, 8 Papa Delta, ciao.
25 left, 25 left, 25 left.
Right now, 838, follow straight, right back.
25 right. I was saying 25 right.
Robbings 90 Hotel,
Now I'm getting confused. 25 right Yankee. There it is. Hooray.
125.050, 90 Hotel.
And then we have minimums
Lufthansa 7 Papa Juliet.
560.
Identified, climb flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, Lufthansa 7 Papa Juliet.
KLM 711, contact arrival 120.805.
120.805. Dankeschön, tschüss, die KLM 711.
Lufthansa 429, you are way too high.
6,000 feet, UNH 1023, aero control.
Boeing, this is Jet 58906, turn left heading 09.
So we have information India.
Turning left, heading 080, Boeing Business Jet 58906.
Join 99965, contact Langen, bound 24, decimal 730.
I have a good V, KLM 711, flight level 100.
Langen, bound 24, decimal 730.
Darn, come on.
Say again, the altitude?
130.
Test level 130 and contact.
They're so busy.
Negative 124, 73.
124 is 73 sequential.
Canada 846, reduce speed 220 knots, descend 6.
So Ratna, Frankfurt. And so we have a 3-degree profile for the Yankee. Oh, that's Zulu. Hang on. Where's my Yankee?
Negative 220.
There it is.
220 knots, Air Canada.
Yeah, 560 is still the same, but you have the 3.2
Boeing
degrees.
Business Jet 58906, contact arrival 127 decimal 280.
127-280, Boeing Business Jet 58906.
Lufthansa 3 Charlie Hotel, reduce speed 220 knots.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm wondering why it said 3. I have a good VD, KLM 711, flight level 100, information India.
Captain 7 Bonbon, hello, direct waypoint 4 Bonbon.
Direct Delta Fox 411, KLM 711.
Good evening.
So direct Delta Fox 411. It's a nice shortcut. Oops.
429, hello, fly heading bound 20.
Heading 120, 429.
There we go.
Europa bound to Alpha, contact arrival bound 27.
So let me get the lights on.
Europa bound to Alpha, contact arrival bound 27 decimal 280.
So one thing I do notice is that my hardware, so my GPU, is definitely a lot more strained in Microsoft 2024.
Reduce speed 250, confusing 178.
Lufthansa 429, reduce speed 250 knots, proceed direct Delta Foxtrot 403.
Direct to Delta Fox 403 and speed 250.
KLM 7 Bonbon, reduce speed 220 knots.
Speed back 220 knots, KLM 711. So let's see if we can do that clean.
Canada 846, contact arrival.
Probably not.
280, cross on only.
127.280, call sign only.
Yeah, we can actually, 219. Now, what could be the case is that I am using some different model matching today. Maybe that's also demanding. But Bruno says he noticed that as well. Okay. So let's do a landing performance calculation here. So we'll take Frankfurt.
Descend to altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1023.
Descend 6,000, QNH 1023, KLM 711. So we have open descent, out blue. Oops. 6,000.
06 identified, hello, climb via sit to flight level 90.
1023. So that's all dialed in. 72.9, is that correct? Yeah, that sounds correct. We'll take 25 left for now. No, so not 25, 25 right. Disregard. 25 right. Yeah. So we have 25 right. And low. Well, we've got to take medium. Well, we don't have to. I mean, we still have 200 meter buffer. Now we'll take low. There's always a bit of margin there anyways. Yeah, we'll take low. Otherwise, we're going to have very hot breaks. So.
KLM 7 Bonbon, contact arrival 127.280.
27280. Dankeschön. Just the KLM 711. So that's director. Call sign only.
180 until 6, circulator on tower 118, 805, sorry, 780, sorry, tschüss.
Europa 1 to Alpha heading 250.
MCK, no.
Europa 1 to Alpha, fly heading 250.
No, let's not. Hey, so guys, so Enzo Cookie, thanks so much for the wishes. Yeah, I'm feeling much better today. Thank you for asking. Hang on, Fish.
Canada 846, right heading 220.
Let me just get my call in here.
Europa 1 to Alpha, turn right heading 270, expedite return, clear the ILS 25 left, maintain 220 knots.
Right turn to 270 and clear for the ILS 25 left, 0 Alpha.
Boeing Business Jet 5896, proceed direct Delta Foxtrot 623.
Delta Foxtrot 623, Boeing Business Jet 5896.
Director Gude, Lufthansa 9 November Delta, 6,500 feet, descending 5,000.
Lufthansa 6 November, 9 November Delta Frankfurt, hello, runway 25 right for you.
Aviamar, that's true. 25 left will give you the option for swing to center, that's correct. Direct hello, KLM 711.
KLM 711 Frankfurt, hello, runway 25 left.
Yes! 25 left, copied, KLM 711. Why am I happy with 25 left?
Canada 846, heading 220,
well, I haven't briefed it yet, have I? So, yeah, you called it. You jinxed it, maybe, but yeah, you did. All right, anyways, we're flexible, right?
Turning right 220, direct what?
Heading 220, you are
so why not
ILS
take 25
Yankee,
left?
right, leave altitude 6,000 feet on the glide slope.
So let's do approach.
Leave altitude 6,000 on the glide slope.
Lufthansa 9 November Delta, left heading 330.
There we are.
Left 330, 9 November Delta.
So 25 left.
Boeing Business Jet 5896.
So we have a minimum 570. So what we can do...
Leave altitude 7,000 feet with the glide slope. Boeing Business Jet 5896.
Yeah, I'm going to go put this quickly into track.
You may descend. Yeah,
we're heading there.
Altitude 6,000 feet now, maintain.
And then I'm going to activate the secondary.
Then you are cleared ILS 25 left.
Maintain 6,000 feet until the glide slope.
Go back to Delta Fox 412. Here's Altstar.
Europa 1 to Alpha, speed 180.
So now we're back to Altstar nav. And I'll enter one more.
Lufthansa 9 November Delta, left heading 280, cleared ILS 25 right. Yankee.
And then we've got 25 left now programmed.
25 right, 9 November Delta.
So 24 degrees. 1023. 260 at 10. And 570.
Any speed restrictions for Boeing Business Jet 5896?
We'll do a config 3 landing. Config 3.
Roger that, maintaining 220, Boeing Business Jet 5896.
Canada 846, 180 knots, still 6 miles, tower 118.780.
25 left, calculate.
80 till 6, and we'll go over the tower.
Wind didn't get through, okay, let me check. So about 2,800 meters.
KLM 711, turn right heading 200.
Right, heading 200, KLM 711. So there we go, heading...
Heading 100.
Thank you, MCK. Let me just do the wind again. So 260 at 10.
Austrian 267, Frankfurt arrival, hello, expect runway 25 left.
Low. Cool. Right, so quick briefing, ILS 25 left, 4,000, 3-degree profile. Minimum is 570. Missed approach.
KLM 711, descend now altitude 5,000 feet, rate 1,000 feet per minute or greater. On heading 220, intercept localizer 25 left.
Okay, we continue turn heading 220, intercepted localizer 25 left, descent 5,000, 1,000 more, KLM 711.
Austrian 267, turn left 280. Left 280.
So Delta Fox 290, 685, left
6,000 feet, QNH 1023.
To Charlie, climb 5,000.
6,000 feet, Lufthansa 3, Charlie Hotel, QNH 1023.
There we go.
And Lufthansa 3, Charlie Hotel, turn right heading 210.
So let's put 620, 06, is it 66? Altstar.
Boeing Business Jet 5896, reduce speed 170 knots, maintain until 5 miles.
170 until 5 miles, final Boeing Business Jet 5896.
So lock.
This 112, Frankfurt arrival, hello.
Lock is armed.
Left, turn right heading
220 again. So the ILS identified.
Lufthansa 429, if you
Isn't it radial in 066?
Roger, 25 right.
Like this?
Airline 711 heading 230, cleared ILS 25 left, leave 5000 with the glide.
Heading 230, cleared the ILS 25 left, and we'll leave 5000 on the glide, KLM 710. So lock armed initially. Let's press the approach. So we have glide slope, lock blue, cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 plus 2, lock star. Crazy busy. I didn't expect to get in that fast, but hey, here we go.
Lufthansa 9 November Delta, 170 knots till 5, tower 118780, bye-bye.
17025, 18780, tschüss.
Please 112, turn right heading 360.
So flaps 1, speed checked. Flaps 1.
Sorry, Swiss 112, make it a left turn please, 360.
Nice. So the problem is that we have to ask him to reduce the speed. They're very critical regarding separation here.
Austria 267 heading 250, intercept localizer 25 left.
So 5000, glide slope star, 15 miles, fantastic.
LM 711, 180 knots till 6 miles, tower 118780, bye-bye.
182.6 at 118. Second the frequency, please.
118,780.
11878. Dankeschön, tschüss. So 180, flaps 2. Speed is checked, flaps 2. Here we go. So the approach checklist, bar or ref, Kinish 1023 set. Seatbelts on. We have the minimum bar 570 feet, auto brake low. And engine mode selector is normal. We have center inside. We can call that in.
Bring 5 at 9 on frequency. Bring 5 at 9 on frequency.
Yeah, you have to be careful with the direct in. So if you already have lock armed and you go direct in, it can kill your lock armed. Yeah. It actually can go into nav mode.
Stay on 25 left. I ask you if you're able to 5 center. Now stay on 25 left.
Roger that. Staying on 25 left. Going business jet 596.
914 identified. Connect Langen 120155.
120 left hand. 914.
You like the Neo? Yeah, I do.
Delay.
Europa 112 is vacated.
25 25 center.
Oh, he's so busy.
Wait to first stand. Lufthansa 29.
Tower go to V, KLM 711, 25 left, center inside. So he knows I'm able for visual. 25 center.
Left on Romeo and hold short at Sierra 11.
So the approach phase is active.
Boeing
182.6, 5000 is approach is set.
Boeing business jet 58906, clear to land 25 left.
So let's go manual thrust, manual flight.
Power Lufthansa, Charlie Hotel.
Flight directors off, bird on. Let's do some basic flying.
2,500.
Let's check.
Out of 2,500 feet, initial approach 25 center. In case of missed approach, climb on our track to 5,000. Reduce the final approach speed.
Reducing final approach speed and then cleared the visual out of 2,500 to 5 center. In case missed approach, climb runway track 5,000, KLM 711. Flaps 3, speed checks.
9 knots to 5 right, clear to land.
Clear land to 5 right, 9 November Delta.
Delta 846, continue on Papa.
And flaps full, speed checked, flaps full, arm the spoilers.
259, 27, over the reef, 9 knots, 25 center, get for takeoff.
25 center, clear for takeoff, Lufthansa 29.
Nice.
KLM 711, 2 departures ahead.
Copy it, KLM 711. That sounds like a missed approach.
Continue on Papa, November 11, hold it off November.
So runway track's already set 246 degrees.
Papa, November 11. hold short.
We'll do the landing checklist. Economimo landing no blue. Landing checklist complete.
Boeing business jet 589 going around.
Uh-oh.
259, stop immediately a second. Stop immediately.
Rejecting takeoff Lufthansa.
Oh! Wow.
The 8 from Papa vacate by Lima 4. Vacate right, Lima 4.
Wow.
Short of Lima.
The action. Now we have an RTO going on. Oh, you're right. I did. Flaps 3, that's correct.
Hold short of Lima.
Vacating Lima 13, holding short.
Hang on. Oh, yes. Hang on.
1,000.
I forget. You have to do that. There we go. Now we've got flaps 3 and landing. Economimo landing no blue. That's why.
One passing 2005.
On the 350, you don't have to do that, so that's why I kind of forgot. There we go. At least I have an excuse. And SFO Mook, good evening. Wow, the action here. So we just had RTO, one go around, one RTO.
KLM 711 with 27 0 reef, 925 center, cleared to launch.
25 center, cleared land, KLM 711. And there you go, problem solved. For flap 3, I would have to check the tables regarding pitch values, to be honest.
259, connect apron 12185.
11855, CC Lufthansa 905.
Going business jet 5896, connect.
I honestly am not sure out of the top of my head here. I would say yes. It feels unnaturally high, the 5 degrees. The runway's inside. I would say yes.
200.
But again, I would have to
5896.
continue.
Say again for Boeing business jet 5896. Listen to the frequency, please. Contact 125, decimal 355. 125-355, Boeing business jet 5896.
50.
This is the 8, uniform Papa, taxi right, Lima 3, hold about to subcenter.
Retard.
Lima 3, holding
Come on.
25 center, Lufthansa 8 uniform Papa.
Bit flary, but we'll take it.
Hello, you're ready.
So, spoilers, reverse a green decel.
Wedding 17 extra, hello, number 3. The 3 Charlie Hotel 127, 0 reef, 925 right, cleared for lunch.
2 right, cleared to land, Lufthansa 3 Charlie Hotel.
Lufthansa November Delta, taxi left, Papa, November 11, hold short of November.
Left,
Main
Papa,
right.
November 11, hold short November, 9 November Delta.
Austrian 267, 127, 0 reef, 925 left, cleared to lunch.
So I'll take the next high speed here.
Lufthansa 8, uniform Papa, line up, runway to 5 center.
Lining up to 5 center, Lufthansa 8 uniform Papa.
Okay, I'll talk about
Alpha contact apron 12185.
I'll talk about the nose gear slam in a second.
432, line up runway 18.
I'll talk about that in a second.
KLM 711, hold short of Lima, contact apron 12185. Ciao, schönen Abend.
Ja, hold short Lima, 11855. Euch auch, Dankeschön, KLM 711. So we'll get off the runway first of all. We'll hold short of Lima.
Carolina Romeo Hotel, no advice able for visual abort, disregard.
Bye-bye, Dankeschön.
That's for Delta Bravo, US 12 11878.
Wow, what a busy approach, blimey. Apron.
Lufthansa 1, roof taxi.
Lufthansa 1, taxi by November 7, hold short of November.
November 7, hold short November, Lufthansa 1.
Apron now. Good VD, KLM 711 just vacated. Hold short Lima.
KLM 711, good right turn, Lima, short of November 8.
Lima, and we'll hold short November 8, KLM 711.
Lufthansa 9
After landing items,
taxi
completed.
Lima, short of Lima 6. Holding short Lima 6, Lufthansa
Oops, that's the wrong one.
Eine von to question 3 to Hotel, contact Tower 118, das mit 780 vorbei.
118, 780, all number 3 to Hotel, bye-bye.
Commodore April Gude, Condor 1 Papa Lima, request pushback.
Condor 1 Papa Lima, low pushback approved.
Pushback approved, Condor Lima.
Lufthansa 259, contact Tower 118, 780. 118, 78, Lufthansa 292.
So single engine taxi in. I think yes. I don't see why not, to be honest, unless I've missed something. Initially, we were prohibited to do so, but I think at some time.
1-5-855 happy.
I'm not sure about the. I think the APU has to run.
Kelm Alpha left turn Lima, short of November 8.
Left turn Lima, short November 8, Kelm Alpha.
Ryanair 411, contact tower 124.855.
So regarding the nose slamming.
02 Juliet, contact tower 118, correction 124.
It's November 8. Oh, nice. A350. I saw 2 A350s in Frankfurt on Sunday when we came back.
728, taxi by November 8, hold short of November.
Splitter 728, taxi on November 8 to hold short November, but is November, also hold short November nachher links
So let's, I tell you what, I'll switch off my lights.
Also muss ich nach November 8 links gehen.
Okay, du bleibst vor November stehen, du bleibst auf November 8 und bleibst vor November stehen, also nicht draufrollen bitte.
Ah, okay, okay, verstanden. Splitter 728, taxi on November 8 to hold short November 8.
November 1, taxi by November 7, Lima, hold short of Lima 3.
November 7, Lima 3, Lufthansa 1.
Ground Air Canada 846 is holding at November 11.
I wonder what he's doing.
6, hello, taxi straight ahead, November 11.
Come on.
Lima, hold short of November 8.
Lima, November 8, hold short, November 8, Air Canada 846.
November 27 Lima, taxi left, Lima, short of November 7.
Lima, hold short, November 7.
Busy Frankfurt as always.
Lufthansa 9 November Delta on Papa.
Yeah, so the Neo 320 Neo in the real aircraft had a terrible tendency to slam the nose down after touchdown. And honestly, I tried so hard to always remember to be ready to counteract that down movement of the nose, but let's say 50% of the time I was just too late, so the nose would go down so quickly after touchdown, and so that is actually realistic.
737 from the left thereafter, continue via Lima, short of Lima 3.
Just continue VIP. No, I don't want to get reported. Right, I'm going to hold on short here. Right.
711, continue via Lima, hold short of November 3.
Continue Lima, we'll hold short November 3, KLM 711. There we go.
Alpha, continue via, correction via Lima, hold short of November 3.
Lima, hold short November 3, KLM Alpha.
728, continue via November 8, hold short of Lima.
Splitter 728, continue we on November 8 to hold short Lima.
Right, 3 minutes have gone. Well, I'd say 5 minutes gone. Brake fan on. And so for taxi in though, yeah, we'll cut number 2 engine. So APU is available. So what we'll do.
Left November, short of November 5.
So we'll cut engine 2. And then we'll have yellow ilic pump on. So that we have the green braking system and the yellow backup as well.
Short of November 3, Air Canada 846.
November 1, contact tower 118.780, bye-bye.
118.780, Lufthansa 1, bye-bye.
November 27 Lima, contact tower 118.780, bye-bye.
118.780,
November 3 Charlie Hotel, gate Alpha 36 via November 7.
November 7, Alpha 36, Lufthansa 3 Charlie Hotel.
I assume we're going to be parking either on the apron or some of these Delta gates. But we'll see. Now, I do have to do some counter input to the asymmetric thrust. But it's controllable, so it's not too bad. But this obviously is where, you know, kind of a situation where the tiller actually does help. No, you don't have to. Well, I mean,
7 to 8 taxi via no correction taxi left.
yeah, you definitely like 30 to 35%. I don't think you really need much 40%. Now, the problem with the 321s,
taxi via Lima to hold towards Lima 3.
and this is something why I've never really liked doing single engine taxiing with the 321s, because if you have to stop or if you have to go uphill a little bit, you need so much power.
After the Boeing left on Lima, hold short Lima 3, Condor 1 Papa Lima.
Condor 846 at November 5, give way to Condor A320 crossing from the left.
So November 3 is after this building here.
Did you want me to hold and wait for the Condor, or...?
Condor, yeah.
Excellent, give way to the traffic, please.
So it's November 4, and then after this dark building, we have November 3.
Toyota gate is occupied, taxi Alpha 30.
Alpha 30, Lufthansa.
Avenger, is that you behind me, Avenger? No. Yeah, low rider KLM.
711 gate Delta 4 via November 3 and November.
November 3, November, and I think Delta 4 is what you said for KLM 711.
Alpha.
Dankeschön.
KLM 1 Alpha gate Delta 5.
So that means I have to put this in here.
Guten Abend, die Martinair 245 Heavy ist on Lima, holding short of November 11.
Martinair 245, hello, continue by Lima, hold short of November 3.
Lima, hold short of November 3.
So, Oliver, regarding the crosswind landing technique, I have made a video on YouTube, a very extensive video on how
Left November 11, November 13.
Crosswind landings are performed.
Condor 1 Papa Lima, contact tower 1, a correction, hold short of Lima 5 for now.
Hold short Lima 5, Condor 1 Papa Lima.
Canada 846, taxi left November 4, gate Bravo 48.
So Delta 4 is there. Okay. He didn't say blue line or anything like that, so we'll take the middle line here.
April, good, building 7X3 on up.
Canada 846, left turn November 4, gate Bravo 48.
Left on November 4.
I really hope that performance here is improved a little bit. Not in the FSLabs, but more in the Marks of 2024.
Taxi via Lima 14 to 25 center.
Via Lima to Lima 4, holding point 24 center. Condor 1 Papa Lima.
Condor 1 Papa Lima, tower 118.
So it's just past November 1. So we'll take
Condor
that.
1 Papa Lima, contact tower 118 is with 78 show.
118 show.
Boarding 17 X-ray, Frankfurt safe. Hello, continue via November 11, hold short of Lima.
Let's see, Smiley Beaches, what's going on?
Continue November 1, hold short of Lima 1, 7 X-ray.
Two stations at once, I heard Cafe 288, pushback approved, face west.
Yeah, so the thing is, I mean, so if you have people that are very knowledgeable, you know, in things like, you know, system depth, etc., and if there's things that can be improved in these add-ons, then you know, it's all right to call them out. But, you know, don't take that too personal. All right.
19 Kilo, Frankfurt 81, hello, give way to MD11 and France gate Alpha 1 via Lima.
Oh, we have services. The thing is, though, why... So why do we have baggage belts there instead of high loaders? Hey, Trostbrot. I don't. So it has to do with the way. So for me personally, I think it has to do with the relationship of the center of gravity and the lift vector. So when the aircraft touches down and the spoilers come up, something happens with the something happens with the lift coefficient or the lift vector. So for some reason, then the nose just becomes very heavy aerodynamically, and so that's why it kind of slams down. That's the only explanation that I would really have. Patent Blau, thank you so much for your subscription. Thank you very, very much for that.
Request area 7341.
Now, why don't I have any... Let's stop here. So, we've already got one engine off. We'll shut the engine 1 off now. And we'll make sure that we...
944 gate Alpha 15, taxi via November 5.
This is also something I noticed that has been in since P3D days. So you can switch it on with one button press, but it takes like 2 or 3 button presses to get that off again. But it does go off eventually, so no problem. Right, let's get transponder standby here as well. Cabin crew, all doors in park. It's in park. Beacon off, seatbelts off, fuel pumps off. Ha, I remember the fuel pumps today. Man. Trostbrot, once again, thank you for the 23 months. Dankeschön. So let me just disconnect quickly off the VATSIM so that we can have a nice relaxed talk. The parking checklist is... Park brakes, shocks, park brakes set, engines off, wing lights off, and fuel pumps are off. And that's the parking checklist completed. So, the flight was nice. I am aware of some things that the real aircraft does a bit different in regards to some modes and stations, like MCK quite rightly pointed out that with the newest software standards, the missed approach altitude on the PFD would actually be white in color, not blue or cyan. Then regarding the brake low indication, I think, wasn't that correct? I think that was correct. But again, you know, so those that are very knowledgeable, they will see a few things, others will not see. So I don't think it's a big issue. But overall, it's performed well. The handling, the manual flying, I like. It does feel like it has a little bit of mass to it. So I know that there always has to be some modifications in the flight model with these add-ons. But overall, I like how it feels. The flare. Now, here's the thing. One thing I've commented on that as well many times regarding the Neos 321s. For me, the Neos 320 Neos have been the worst aircraft to land. So I've never ever got consistent in producing kind of nice soft landings in the 320 Neo. While on the 321 COs, or the IE engines, so the older versions, I've always had good landings. Very rarely would I have a hard landing in the normal 321s. So there's something different about the Neos and the way I guess I'm just, again, you know, I'm not 100% sure what the reason could be. But I have a feeling that it has to do with the way the engines are related to the wings. So if you look at the IAE engines, they would be, so the center of mass of the IAE engines, in my opinion, are much further back. Right, so here, the way the engines are located ahead of the lift and the center of gravity, I have a feeling that the moment that you reduce the thrust in the flare, and the fact that it has a pretty much direct relationship, stick input, in the flare mode, it kind of already lowers the nose. So you really have to be really ready for it. So that's the only real logical explanation I have. You know, what the big difference is between the Neos and the normal 321s with the CFMs or the IAE. Although I've never flown the CFM 321 version, so I even can't comment on that. I just flown the IAE versions. And yeah, Alpha, it could be that as well. Like I said, look at the relationship of the lift vector and the center of mass of the engines. Right. Hey, Byte Clone, hello. Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen. And Oxygen, hello to you as well. Yes, so the flare law here is definitely different compared to the normal, so the COs, and even the 320 Neo. All right, so the 321 Neo does not have that nose down input. So that flare law, you know, 8 degrees over 2 degrees over 8 seconds, etc., etc. Right, the 320 Neo doesn't have that. No. It has a different. It still has something. I think Bruno MCK will know more about it. So yeah, it does freeze the horizontal stabilizer at 100 feet. So, and Bruno says it's the same flare law as you have in a 330, 340, 350, and 380. Yeah, so. Oh, okay. So Pilot Jeff. Was that in a Neo, or was that in the 321 CO version? Because I have had an issue as well with crosswind where at touchdown, and the aircraft yawed really quickly to straighten the nose. So even the Neo, you got that as well. Okay, interesting. I've not noticed that in the Neo just yet, although I didn't have much crosswind yet. So. But right now, I've not noticed it here in the Neo, no. But Jeff, they did post it in the forums, and the developer said they're looking into it. Yeah. No, Frankfurt. Oh, so you mean like? So Oliver, no. So normally Frankfurt on VATSIM is not that busy. So Frankfurt Friday event is always extremely busy. Yes. But normally, even during the week, if there's some tower here or ground, whatever, it's busy, but not as busy as we just seen now. Yeah. Yeah, Jeff, pleasure. Okay, so one thing, the only issue really I have with 2024, even though it does look nice, clouds look nice, the lighting looks nice, environment looks nice. The performance is, well, I mean, the performance hit here on 2024 is much bigger compared to 2020, in my opinion. So my system is really struggling here in 2024 right now, especially since I'm streaming from the same PC. So I only have one PC set up for streaming and
Black box.
Yeah, MCK, thank you. It was great seeing you again. Take care, MCK. All the best. Yes, I do. So I have the limit via Riva tuner. Right. So I have VSync, and then I match it up with Riva tuner. Yeah. No, I don't use auto FPS. The thing is with auto FPS external, I don't know what it is. I've not really had such great experiences with that. Yeah, and also I will say that even though sometimes I still have 60 FPS, the GPU is just maxed out. That's the problem, really. Yeah, Aviamar, that has to do with the NVIDIA driver. So I've had the same on some versions, yeah, where I get crash to desktops with the Reaver tuner. Yeah. Cool. Well, that was enjoyable. I really did like it. Let's have a look at the tech log book if there's anything new. Let's check that. So there's nothing new. Flight history. Landing rate was -177. 1.12 G. So nothing new to report here. That's good. All right, guys. I'm going to do one more flight in about 10 minutes' time. I have to get my yoke set up. We'll be flying the iFly 737 from Istanbul. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Göttingen? You would pronounce that. So Lima, Tango, Foxtrot, Juliet. Or Juliet Foxtrot. Or Juliet Foxtrot. One way or the other. Hey, MAN. We're going to fly to Samos again because there's a new scenery. I think it's MXI or MM simulations. Hang on, is it? I think it's MM simulations, isn't it? Here, Martinez, thanks for watching. You take care. And MAN, wie geht's dir? Conti, thank you much. Looking forward to share flight with you, Conti. M&M's. Winky, yes, thank you so much. Me too. So fish cup sets is very important to activate G-Sync, FreeSync in the monitor and the NVIDIA app if you use a fixed FPS. Okay. I've always done it with VSync, and that has worked for me. Hey, Bob, no worries. We've got another chance. 10 minutes time. 10 minutes, we'll fly the iFly 737. And MAN, the flight was nice. I didn't really have any bigger issues. The only thing really is just the general performance in Microsoft 2024. No, so my monitor is running at 120 Hertz. So normally it will be half refresh rate. It's 5 a.m. or you okay? Yeah, I know, Fish. I know there are different things, VSync, G-Sync. The thing is though, so if you don't use, well, if you use G-Sync, then of course, I don't know. For me, it doesn't work so well with the fixed FPS and you know, the smoothness. And I don't know what it is. So, hey Simon. Yeah. So regarding weather, it's one of those things. So, I mean, pilots have a weather radar system which gives them very accurate indications on where the thunderstorm center is. And, you know, from their experience, they can then determine if it's still safe to land or not. Now, I would say that obviously, you know, near thunderstorms, you should always be very careful and, you know, use good judgment. And maybe even, you know, try to give yourself more margin, right? So don't try to force a landing when a thunderstorm is fairly near the airport for all the obvious reasons, right? So, Oh, hang on. You Côte d'Azur. Hey, nice, MAN. On holiday, I see. How's the weather? How's the weather? Nice. True, yes, a Mozartkugel. That's something I've noticed as well. G-Sync for me as well does cause flickering sometimes, yeah. All right, guys. Oh, okay, there's a Flying Fox VATSIM. No. So regarding that's a good reminder. So regarding the JFK controller, there's a lot of people commenting on that video. Not sure if you have a link to that video, maybe, or maybe someone has a link to that. It's people have the impression that
lavatory service has been requested.
Has it? Interesting. So apparently that controller is very kind of snappy and very kind of short-tempered, especially with foreign airliners. And people kind of get the impression that he's kind of flaming these pilots, right? Now I have a certain understanding, or to a certain degree, I understand the enormous pressure these controllers are on, having to, get all that traffic airborne and landed. Yeah, so they are definitely understaffed and overworked. So I guess to a certain degree, you have to cut them some slack. Now, having said that, the question I ask myself is it really that productive if you start pressuring pilots, especially the foreign pilots, with some snappy comments? Does it help? My opinion would be probably not, right? So I would say that, oh, there we go, lavatory service. Look at that. Lol. Yeah, so it is definitely something you have to get used to in the US, especially these really busy airports. So, and one thing you should not do is don't start a discussion over the frequency. Don't do that. So if you feel like, you have a complaint to make, do it via telephone or via letter or email or something, right? So that you can always complain, right? Or file a complaint officially, but don't start a discussion over the frequency. That's a yeah, exactly, right? That's a no-go. There's other ways to do that. Yeah, Alpha, yeah, I know. Yeah, there's definitely some more instant occurrences with that, with that controller. MAN is sitting in a camper van. Nice, MAN. Maybe I have to ask you some tips then, because my wife and me are going camping for the first time in a camper van in October, so I might have to get back to you. Yeah, again, I'm not gonna claim that US controllers are worse tempered and arrogant or something. I wouldn't say that. I would just say that it has to do with the enormous stress level. I know that let's say Amsterdam or Frankfurt, Paris, right? They have busy airports as well. Or even London, but I think it's still not quite the same as Chicago or JFK, let's say, right? And there's also, there's people that can cope with that kind of stress better than others. Yeah, but again, the really important thing is that everything stays safe, right? Stress shouldn't be an excuse. Tough one, yeah, Voyager. I know what you mean. It's just I do have a little bit of an understanding to a certain degree. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yeah, MAN, I will do. Thank you so much. Yeah, forward. Again, you know, MAN seems to be an expert in this regime, so yeah, we'll let you know forward. Cool. Yeah. So again, you know, in an ideal world, these controllers would always be, you know, polite to a certain degree, or not get snappy at least, right? But that's just, you know, the real world is just the way it is, right? But again, all I can do is say from a pilot's point of view, if I'm at one of these really busy airports as a foreigner, and if I get a snappy controller, I tend to get nervous, you know, easier than if they remain calm, right? So that's the only thing really I can, you know, point to. Well, the Neo, the FSLabs Neo, and again, I've bought this one with my own money, so I can definitely talk completely freely. I enjoyed it. I don't see bigger issues. Yes, there are some avionic inaccuracies, and I think there's still some things you can do to improve, to get it, you know, to the more realistic standards, so avionic standards. But things like textures and sounds, I think it's okay. It's not, maybe not as good as the Phoenix, but you know, there's also, I don't have much to complain about. I mean, I think it's just not fair to complain. I mean, you can compare and say the Phoenix may be a bit more high fidelity in the sound section. Textures, for me, textures is always personal preference. So I honestly, again, you know, I'll complain about the towless textures for sure, but I can't complain about the FSLabs textures. I think that just would be unfair. If you say you prefer the Phoenix textures, I accept that, right? But you know, again, I can't complain about these textures, right? Flying Fox says you've flown to New York, Teterboro, Newark numerous times, lots of traffic, nobody has ever been snappy ever. Okay. Yeah, Enzo, yeah. Yeah, that was a thing, like I said, I talked about that as well. Probably 2 alpha males, right? Just getting things down the wrong throat. And then just things escalated, unfortunately. So really, you know what? That kind of incident with the Lufthansa plane going towards San Francisco, and then the controller and the pilot getting really into a heated discussion, and then the flight diverting to Portland. Oh, sorry, Oakland, not Portland. Oakland, I think they diverted, right? So I think that could have been avoided if both, or at least one of them, would have used some good CRM techniques, right? So to de-escalate and then start again, trying to get, you know, because they were communicating on a different kind of level, meaning, you know, it was a misunderstanding, and they couldn't clear up the misunderstanding because they were so heated in their discussion, right? Oh no, Avimar, really? You fell down the stairs. Oh, okay. Well, have a good vacation nonetheless, Abima, and get well. Ouch. Oh, you mean like this? Hang on. Let's see. Is it working here? Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for the delay. And if you want, you can blame Bruno. Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for the delay. And if you want, you can blame Bruno. It does work. That's good. Yeah, sorry, Bruno. I know. Oh, Bruno will have his revenge for sure. Guys, for those that don't know, it's an old meme, right? Blame Bruno. It's an old meme. It's not personal. It's just an old meme. Alrighty. Straufi, Dankeschön. Thanks for the 7 months. That's really kind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Infotainment Experience. New subscribers should now pick up their past first class. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Walter, let me get to that in a second. So Straufi, once again, thank you so much for the 7 months. Much appreciated. Yes, I am in contact with Sven, because I was, again, working, and I said when I'm back from my India rotation, I'll get back to him, and then we'll try to organize. So the next couple of weeks, I hope to get something going with Sven again on a shared flight. Yeah. So Isaac says, due to the low approach speed in full configuration after landing and reducing the throttle, the aircraft's handling quality and response will be different from the CO model. Okay, yeah, makes sense. So again, it has to do with the way the relationship between the engine mass, so center of gravity of the engine, the thrust vector, and then center of gravity and lift vector of the aircraft. Sven is Captain A320. He's also a captain. Real-world captain, instructor captain, training captain, and he also streams on YouTube, but in German language. Winky, I have to ask Sven if we want to do a English live stream. I think that would be fair, but I have to ask him first if he feels comfortable with that. Am I worried because of potential electric flow? Okay, so good question. Flight simulations. I appreciate the question. Now, I have to be careful not to get into rage again. You guys know my standpoint regarding these videos that came out straight after that terrible crash of the 787 from the Air India, and I totally dislike it. I know people like to get some information on what potentially could have happened, so get some technical background. I understand that, but here's my point of view. A, it doesn't help anyone because it's pure speculation. You cannot possibly get, not normally, let's say, we cannot possibly determine a cause of a crash from just an outside video. That is just not possible. So speculating on thousands of possibilities just goes nowhere. B, in my opinion, it's disrespectful to the victims and the families that are grieving about a terrible personal loss of life. Right? So, and please don't give me that, but if they understand, if they get information on what potentially could have happened, no, because they're not getting the truth, they're not getting the facts, right? So there's no point in giving them some, I don't know, some weird speculative, things about what potentially could have happened. It doesn't help them, not at all. They will get a proper list a proper investigation, and there will be an exact explanation with all the facts. So facts, technical facts, but also facts about the pilots and the CRM, so the crew resource management, on their actions, their communications, etc., etc. Then we will have a complete picture. And as we know, normally an accident does not happen due to a single fault. There is also this chain of events, we call it, Swiss cheese model. So these chains, or these links in a chain, adding up, and then at the end, having several factors that then leading to an accident, right? So right now, what I can say is that there is a lot of uncertainty amongst crew members flying the 787. There's a lot of uncertainty and worry for the passengers flying the 787. And again, all that speculation has helped in no ways. Quite contrary, it has fueled the anxieties and the worries about the 787. Right, that's my opinion. Can we do crest departure clearance offline? No, because it always goes via, well, I mean, it goes via Hoppy. But it shouldn't really work, because if you're not online with VATSIM, then the controller won't get the clearance. A350 ULR is out, okay. Interesting. I'll have to check that. Cool. Yes, Sven does speak English, obviously. I mean, he's a pilot. He can speak English. It's just a question of if he feels comfortable to do a flight in English. I'm sure he is, but I'll have to ask him. All right. Cool. Okay, guys, give me 10 minutes. I'll be back again on the 737 I fly, and we're going to fly from Istanbul, Göttingen to Samos. It's about an hour flight, 55 minutes flight time. All right, guys. As always, guys, thank you very, very much for your amazing support, for all the resubs, the new members, the gifted subs from Aviamar, the bits. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. That's really kind. And if you like, see you in about 10 minutes. Otherwise, I will be streaming Sunday again, okay? Sunday is the next stream. Okay, guys. My moderators, as always, thank you so much. And Bruno, I hope Bruno's not mad at me now. Bruno, I love you. You know that. Okay, so see you soon, guys.